Did you know that over 1.7 million undocumented immigrants currently live in Texas alone, and that number is still rising in 2025? From quiet border towns to booming tech cities, illegal immigration is reshaping the social and economic fabric of the Lone Star State in ways most people never see. What's more shocking, many of the cities with the highest numbers aren't the ones you'd expect. In this video, we're diving deep into 10 Texas cities with the largest illegal immigrant populations this year, and some of the names on this list will truly surprise you. Behind the headlines and political debates are real communities, real struggles, and complex realities that rarely make the news. Some cities have become silent hubs of undocumented life, while others have taken center stage in immigration crackdowns. So why these cities? What's really happening beneath the surface? Stay with us, because the answers may challenge everything you thought you knew. Number 1. McAllen, the gateway that never sleeps. Tucked deep in South Texas, just minutes from the US-Mexico border, McAllen might look like a quiet city on the surface. But in 2025, it stands at the epicenter of undocumented immigration in Texas, a position it has held silently for years. With an estimated 160,000 undocumented immigrants living in the Rio Grande Valley region, McAllen serves as both a transit point and a final destination for thousands each year. Its location makes it a frontline city in the ongoing border debate, but there's much more happening here than barbed wire and border patrols. What drives so many undocumented immigrants to settle in McAllen instead of simply passing through? The answer lies in a mix of opportunity and familiarity. Agriculture, construction, and informal economies provide steady work for those who arrive without legal papers. More importantly, McAllen is home to tight-knit Hispanic communities, many of whom share cultural roots with new arrivals. These deep connections offer support, shelter, and survival in a system where few protections exist. Churches, community centers, and local networks quietly help many find their footing, away from national headlines. But McAllen's role is complex. While some residents push for stronger immigration enforcement, others see the undocumented population as an integral part of the local identity. Schools, hospitals, and city services often strain under pressure, yet the undocumented also fuel the city's labor force and consumer economy. The tension here is real, and the future uncertain. One thing is clear: McAllen is more than a border town. It's a living, breathing symbol of America's immigration crossroads, where human stories and policy collide every single day. Number 2. El Paso, a borderline reality. On the far western edge of Texas, El Paso stands as one of the most unique cities in the United States, literally steps away from Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. With an estimated 135,000 undocumented immigrants calling this metro area home in 2025, El Paso is not just a city. It's a gateway, a shelter, and for many, a last hope. What makes this city so different is its identity. A blend of two cultures, two nations, and one complex reality that defies simple headlines. El Paso isn't just close to the border, it is the border. This proximity has turned the city into a key destination for undocumented immigrants, many of whom arrive with family connections, language familiarity, and cultural understanding that help them assimilate quickly. Jobs in hospitality, manufacturing, and construction offer relatively stable incomes, and the city's relatively low cost of living makes it a practical choice for starting over. But more than anything, it's the shared border culture, deeply rooted in generations of cross-national relationships, that helps undocumented communities thrive quietly in plain sight. Still, life here isn't easy. El Paso walks a fine line between welcoming city and federal enforcement zone. Immigration raids and checkpoints are common, and the presence of federal agents is felt everywhere, from bus stations to local neighborhoods. And yet, the undocumented population continues to grow, quietly integrated into the fabric of daily life. It's a paradox that defines El Paso, a city shaped by immigration, sustained by immigrants, and constantly grappling with the policies that aim to erase them. Here, every street tells a story, and behind every storefront or home may be someone navigating a life between the shadows and the spotlight. Number 3. Houston, the silent giant of immigration. You might not expect it, but Houston, the fourth largest city in the US, is also home to one of the largest undocumented immigrant populations in Texas, with estimates reaching over 125,000 individuals in 2025. Unlike border cities like McAllen or El Paso, Houston doesn't sit near an international line. It sits at the heart of an economic engine. This sprawling metropolis, known for its energy sector and diverse neighborhoods, has quietly become a magnet for undocumented workers seeking both opportunity and anonymity in its vast urban maze. What draws so many undocumented immigrants to Houston? The answer is in the city's abundance of jobs, affordable housing options, and large immigrant communities that offer a support system for new arrivals. From construction sites to restaurants and domestic work, Houston's informal labor market is thriving. And thanks to its diversity, where over 145 languages are spoken, immigrants often find themselves blending in more easily, surrounded by people with shared backgrounds and experiences. In many cases, the city's sheer size and complexity also help undocumented residents avoid detection, allowing them to build lives quietly beneath the radar. However, the challenges here are just as big as the city itself. While Houston has some immigrant-friendly policies, it also operates in a state with strict laws that often clash with local efforts to protect vulnerable populations. Healthcare, legal aid, and public schooling are stretched thin in neighborhoods with high undocumented populations, and fears of deportation continue to cast long shadows over daily life. Still, Houston's undocumented residents are not just surviving. They're contributing, thriving, and fueling one of the fastest-growing economies in the country. In many ways, the city has become a symbol of both the promise and pressure of undocumented life in modern America. Number 4. Dallas, where opportunity meets uncertainty. Welcome to Dallas, a city that wears many hats: tech hub, cultural center, and now, one of the top destinations for undocumented immigrants in Texas. In 2025, it's estimated that over 110,000 undocumented individuals are living in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area. But Dallas isn't just a place to land. It's a place to build. Many immigrants come here not just to escape, but to start businesses, raise families, and pursue the American dream, even if it means doing so in the shadows. What makes Dallas so attractive to undocumented immigrants is a mix of rapid economic growth, a strong job market, and the presence of large immigrant enclaves that offer both community and protection. From construction to cleaning services, to logistics and warehouse work, undocumented labor quietly keeps the city running. Areas like Oak Cliff and West Dallas are rich with immigrant life, where corner stores, taquerias, and churches serve as pillars of daily survival. The cost of living is relatively lower than in cities like Austin, and word of mouth often guides new arrivals straight to neighborhoods where they can find safety in numbers. But behind the opportunity lies a tense atmosphere. Texas state laws on immigration are strict, and in cities like Dallas, law enforcement has often cooperated with federal immigration authorities, creating an uneasy balance between growth and fear. For many undocumented residents, every trip to the grocery store or every traffic stop carries risk. Still, despite the pressure, Dallas's undocumented community continues to organize, work, and grow, contributing to the local economy in powerful ways. It's a city full of contrasts: hope and hardship, inclusion and enforcement, all wrapped up in one of Texas's most iconic urban centers. Number 5. Austin, the progressive paradox. At first glance, Austin might seem like an unlikely hotspot for undocumented immigration. Known for its liberal politics, tech innovation, and Keep Austin Weird vibe, it's a city of music festivals, startups, and college students. But beneath the trendy surface lies a rapidly growing undocumented population, estimated at over 95,000 individuals in 2025. As the city booms, so does its appeal to immigrants, both documented and undocumented, who come seeking jobs, opportunity, and a more welcoming environment. Austin's reputation as a progressive sanctuary city plays a big role in attracting undocumented immigrants. The local government has historically resisted cooperation with federal immigration enforcement, and many local organizations actively provide support, legal aid, and resources for newcomers. But it's not just policy. It's the promise of a better life. Tech companies, construction projects, and service industries offer a steady stream of under-the-table jobs, while East Austin and surrounding suburbs provide relatively affordable living options. Though gentrification is slowly changing that landscape, still, Austin is a city of contradictions. While it prides itself on inclusion, the rising cost of living, housing shortages, and uneven access to healthcare put immense pressure on undocumented residents. Many live in overcrowded apartments, working multiple jobs to keep up with the city's soaring expenses. And though local police may not actively seek out undocumented immigrants, the uncertainty of state-level crackdowns keeps fear alive in many communities. Yet, despite these challenges, Austin's undocumented population continues to fuel its growth, serving as restaurant staff, laborers, cleaners, and caregivers. In a city that celebrates freedom and innovation, these individuals are often the invisible force powering its progress. We dive deep, we research hard, and we bring you stories you won't hear anywhere else. If this video opened your eyes, tell us what city shocked you the most. We're reading every comment. And hey, if you haven't seen our last video, go check it out right after this one. It's packed with insights you don't want to miss. Support our work with just one click. Subscribe now and help us keep these important stories alive. Number 6. San Antonio History, Heritage, and Hidden Struggles. San Antonio is one of Texas's most culturally rich cities, famous for the Alamo, the Riverwalk, and its deep-rooted Hispanic heritage. But in 2025, it's also home to an estimated 85,000 undocumented immigrants, making it one of the state's top urban centers for undocumented populations. At first glance, this might not be surprising. San Antonio has always been a city with strong Mexican-American ties. But behind the vibrant culture lies a quieter, more complex reality. A city where undocumented life blends seamlessly into the everyday fabric, yet remains filled with daily uncertainty. What draws undocumented immigrants to San Antonio is more than just jobs. It's familiarity, language, and community support. Many families here have cross-border connections that span generations, and Spanish is spoken nearly everywhere. The city offers work in sectors like hospitality, food service, elder care, and landscaping, often without requiring formal documentation. Neighborhoods like the South Side and West San Antonio have become hubs for immigrant life, where the local economy and community infrastructure often function independently of formal systems. Churches, food banks, and mutual aid groups quietly support thousands. Yet, like many cities in Texas, San Antonio lives in the shadow of statewide anti-immigration policies. While the city itself leans progressive, the political environment around it remains tense. ICE activity, legal uncertainties, and fear of deportation are part of daily life for many undocumented residents. Despite this, the undocumented community contributes enormously to San Antonio's growth, resilience, and cultural identity. They are the cooks, construction workers, cleaners, and caregivers essential but rarely acknowledged. In a city that celebrates its history so proudly, the undocumented population remains an invisible yet vital chapter in its present story. Number 7. Arlington, hiding in the suburbs. Wedged between Dallas and Fort Worth, Arlington is often known for its sports stadiums and amusement parks. But in 2025, it's also home to a growing undocumented population of around 70,000 people. A surprising figure for a city that often flies under the radar. Unlike high-profile border cities or urban megacenters, Arlington represents a new frontier of undocumented life in America. The suburban sprawl, where immigrants can quietly blend in, work, and raise families away from the spotlight. Why Arlington? The answer lies in access and affordability. Compared to its neighboring giants, Dallas and Fort Worth, Arlington offers a lower cost of living, more rental housing, and less media scrutiny. Jobs are plentiful in construction, warehousing, retail, and food services, industries that often pay under the table or ask few questions. And for undocumented families looking for stability without standing out, Arlington's mix of working-class neighborhoods and commuter culture makes it an ideal hiding spot in plain sight. But don't mistake quiet for easy. Arlington's undocumented residents face the same fears and pressures as those in bigger cities, if not more. Without the same level of immigrant support organizations or progressive city policies, many here live with a sense of isolation. Police cooperation with immigration enforcement adds another layer of risk. One wrong move, like a traffic stop, can mean detention or deportation. Still, Arlington's undocumented population continues to grow, sustained by word-of-mouth migration, family ties, and the city's proximity to job-rich areas. In many ways, Arlington tells the story of modern undocumented life in America, not on the margins, but woven deep into the heart of suburban life, invisible to most, but essential to the economy. Number 8. Fort Worth, tradition meets a changing reality. Known for its cowboy roots and historic stockyards, Fort Worth has long been seen as the more traditional sibling to modern, fast-paced Dallas. But in 2025, it has quietly become home to an estimated 65,000 undocumented immigrants, a number that continues to rise year after year. Behind the boots, barbecue, and rodeos lies a growing immigrant community that's transforming the city's neighborhoods, workforce, and identity in ways many residents don't even realize. What makes Fort Worth attractive to undocumented immigrants is its booming economy, sprawling size, and strong demand for labor. From roofing crews to restaurant kitchens, from cleaning services to childcare, undocumented workers form the backbone of many industries here. The city's mix of older infrastructure and newer developments creates a wide range of opportunities, and with large Latino neighborhoods and faith-based communities, many newcomers find a built-in network of support that helps them stay under the radar while building a life. Still, Fort Worth walks a political tightrope. While parts of the city offer community outreach and legal resources, others are closely tied to state immigration enforcement policies. Many undocumented residents live in constant fear, especially those without family or legal connections. Even so, Fort Worth's immigrant population continues to grow, not just from new arrivals, but from undocumented families who've lived here for decades, quietly raising children, paying taxes, and contributing to the community. The city may be steeped in tradition, but its future is being shaped by immigrants, many of whom are hidden in plain sight, working tirelessly to stay afloat in a place that welcomes their labor, but not always their presence. Number 9. Corpus Christi, the port of entry few talk about. Perched on the Gulf Coast with sweeping views of the water and oil refineries dotting the horizon, Corpus Christi may seem like a sleepy coastal city, but beneath the surface, it's become a quiet hub for undocumented immigrants, with estimates hovering around 55,000 in 2025. What makes this city unique isn't just its location. It's the invisible pipeline of labor that flows from its ports, fields, and factories, all quietly sustained by the undocumented workforce. Agriculture, shipping, and energy drive the Corpus Christi economy, and these industries rely heavily on manual labor and seasonal work, much of it done off the books. Many undocumented immigrants here live in rural pockets outside the city or in low-income areas near industrial zones, far from the tourist beaches and boardwalks. It's not just about finding work, it's about staying out of sight. Corpus Christi offers just enough opportunity and just enough isolation to make it a strategic place for undocumented life to thrive in silence. But with isolation comes risk. Unlike larger cities with organized immigrant advocacy groups and sanctuary protections, Corpus Christi offers limited support for undocumented residents. Access to healthcare, legal aid, and tenant rights are minimal, and fear of deportation keeps many families from seeking even basic help. Still, despite the odds, undocumented immigrants in Corpus Christi remain vital to its economy, working in shrimp boats, factories, construction sites, and kitchens. They are the hidden hands powering the coastal machine, making Corpus Christi a city where immigration may be out of the headlines, but never out of the equation. Number 10. Lubbock, the undocumented West. When most people think of undocumented immigration, they picture border towns or massive urban centers. But out in West Texas, in the heart of the plains, Lubbock has emerged as an unexpected hub. With an estimated 45,000 undocumented immigrants living in and around the city in 2025, Lubbock shows that immigration isn't just a border issue. It's a statewide story, playing out in farmlands and college towns just as much as in metropolises. So why Lubbock? It's simple: jobs and space. The agricultural industry in this region has long relied on undocumented labor for everything from planting and harvesting to packaging and transport. Cotton, cattle, and food processing facilities dominate the local economy, and many of these roles don't require documentation. They require stamina and silence. Lubbock's lower cost of living, smaller population, and tight-knit immigrant communities also provide a sense of security that larger cities can't always offer. Here, word travels fast, and trust runs deep, two things that matter when living under the radar. Still, life in Lubbock isn't easy for undocumented residents. The city leans conservative and enforcement can be aggressive, especially in surrounding rural counties. Local policies are often shaped by tough-on-immigration state laws, and resources for undocumented individuals, legal, medical, or educational, are limited. Yet they stay. They build homes, raise children, and become part of the community's invisible backbone. Lubbock may not make headlines, but its undocumented residents are living proof that immigration in Texas is more complex and widespread than most people realize. Far from the cameras and border patrol checkpoints, they've carved out lives in the flatlands, quietly holding up a system that depends on their labor, yet rarely acknowledges their presence. So there you have it, 10 Texas cities where undocumented immigrants are not just passing through, but living, working, and shaping the communities around them. From border towns like McAllen to booming cities like Houston and even unexpected places like Lubbock, the reality is clear. Undocumented immigration is no longer just a border issue. It's a statewide, deeply embedded story. These individuals may not have legal status, but they play a very real role in the Texas economy. They build our homes, cook our food, care for our families, and keep industries alive that many Texans depend on every day. At the same time, they live under constant threat, balancing opportunity with fear, contribution with invisibility. It's a complex, often emotional issue that deserves more than headlines or political soundbites. It deserves understanding. Now, we want to hear from you. Did any of these cities surprise you? Have you seen the impact of undocumented immigration where you live? Drop your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And if you found this video insightful, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into real-world issues, and don't forget to share this video with someone who needs to see the bigger picture. And remember, behind every number is a person, a story, and a struggle that's often never told. If this video helped you see things differently, check out our other videos on immigration, policy, and urban life in America.